Yeah, he had a great run, and it's fun to watch. I think I watched Indiana State and Iowa. Caitlin Clark play about the same last year.
You called her garbage compared to Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I've been watching from afar and understanding just how much of a power she is out there.
Angel Reese was publicly humiliated by peers like Larry Bird, who claimed that Clark was superior, and in all honesty, it was game over for her.
And when you look at Caitlin Clark's game, who's very reminiscent of a Steph Curry, based on her range and shooting the three, plus everything else she does. And then you look at Angel Reese. Stop.
There is no comparison between this youngster and Caitlin Clark, as he has openly lauded the latter. And Reese needs to realize where she stands and catch up.
He did it in practice, so I don't think you can ever get a better teammate than that.
We didn't anticipate Larry Bird's recent public roast of Angel Reese, which may have been the most brutal. Yes, Mr. Cool, the legendary Celtics player, walked out there and essentially said that Caitlin Clark was superior. Player, and Twitter erupted like the NBA Finals buzzer in an instant. People are behaving like Angel Reese. Recently received a lifelong ban from the basketball throne. The collective jaw of the sports world fell to the ground and hasn't come back yet. Who would have guessed that Larry Bird had so much more to say? And why does everyone act as like it's not the best possible response?
The cool part is the way that she plays and her range and the level of difficulty on her shot.
Then, like the ultimate hype man, Steph Curry steps in to support Bird Clark, who is superior. Then Reese's statement, which was delivered in his typical fluid-mannered Clark's shooting range, is being praised by Steph as if she has a cheat code, making threes from locations Curry can only imagine.
Floor games, she's racking up, close to triple doubles every night, and her shooting ability is.
Furthermore, Clark isn't merely making shots. She is stacking triple doubles as if it were a light-hearted pastime. In essence, Steph said, watching. It's a kind way of stating, Reese, you're playing second fiddle, that Clark is as must-see TV. Curry's endorsement isn't merely a nod. It's evident that the large dogs know who's in charge here because of the intense standing ovation if Bird and Curry concur. Is it still worth it for Reese to appear in court?
As polished as that, and so it's must-see TV, and I love what it is done for women's basketball in terms of.
Clark's style of play is so advanced that it is completely changing the rules of basketball. Her extraordinary range, court vision, and triple-double nights have turned her into the main attraction, drawing crowds and silencing detractors equally. Steph's statement is more than just buzz. It's a spotlight that almost blinds Reese. Camp.
I was going to say Caitlin Clark's been compared to you.
Yeah, but I think it almost robs her of the rest of her game because she's such a good floor, she has her overall.
It's more about surrender than argument when icons like Bird and Curry show this kind of devotion. While Reese is still learning how to keep up, Clark is not just in the game but is redefining it. The unambiguous message, second best, has no place at the top. How long before Reese acknowledges that Clark is the rightful heir? Gently bows out.
ML Clark. I never thought you could ever have a better teammate than ML because he was the guy that would tell you if you wasn't practicing hard, if you wasn't.
Larry Bird's humiliation is about respect, not simply numbers. Birds are renowned for appreciating hard work and hustling, and Clark perfectly captures that. His remarks regarding the best teammates being those who. Clark's hustle makes triple-doubles seem effortless, so it might as well be about pushing hard and never giving up. Bird is not only implying that Clark is superior, but also that Clark is the entire package. Can Reese truly equal the work ethic that even Bird finds admirable?
I can remember in timeouts, somebody wouldn't be playing well, and he just tell the coach in front of everybody, say, look, coach, you're not getting the effort out of.
Larry Bird's standing as one of basketball's most formidable rivals stems from more than simply his scoring, but also from his unwavering work ethic and high expectations for his teammates. When Bird discusses effort, it's never insincere. He is the type of person that demands that every player on the court give it their all every time. Just one evening. Therefore, it should come as no surprise that Bird finds Caitlin Clark's hustling so impressive.
I would like to play. I will give you all the effort.
Bird's well-known statement that the best teammates are those who take responsibility for their actions and encourage their teams to improve seem like a perfect fit for Clark. She's working hard, not just draining threes. putting on plays and being heartfelt every time. Naturally, Bird is aware that it involves more than just long-range shooting. It's all about the hard work, perspiration, and resilience.
Watched Indiana State and Iowa, Caitlin Clark play about the same last year, so I was watching a lot of basketball.
Bird's quiet yet impactful statement goes beyond simply praising Clark's skill. It's a slap at those who have reservations. Her entire strategy, which undoubtedly pains Angel Reese the most. When a legend such as Bird tosses, it's more than just a remark when you support Clark's whole package. It's an impossible task. Neglected. When the admiration of Bird's is obviously elsewhere, how long can Angel Reese maintain his composure?
Teammates, some of her teammates have animosity towards her. Yeah. Like when she got knocked down, did you see the young lady come? She didn't run to her rescue. She walked over there and...
Tim Hardaway didn't hesitate to enter the Firebird illuminated. Hardaway's perspective wasn't merely the animosity that was seething behind the scenes was brought to light by a careless remark. As said by Hardaway, there is genuine, vicious jealousy directed against Clark from Reese's own colleagues.
This young lady, only thing she's doing, like you said, is out here. She's playing the game of basketball, and she's having fun doing it. And the media has put her on this pedestal that other people can't.
The narrative is no longer limited to the two players on the court. T concerns a split camp, with several players appearing incapable of to manage the burgeoning fame of Clark. Hardaway refers to Clark as the room's mature superstar, the one that maintains her composure while the small-scale drama takes place all around her.
To me, it's just hatred towards this young lady.
His remarks demonstrate that Clark is outperforming her competitors in every way. Manner. The final call to action comes next. Reese's team needs to figure out how to keep their hero safe, else run the danger of losing the respect of the basketball community as a whole. This is about survival in a world, not just allegiance, where brilliance alone is not enough to achieve respect. Will Reese's team support their star or allow jealousy to erode their odds?
And people has put her on a pedestal. That's still your teammate, and you still have to help your team.
Hardaway's remarks reinforce the idea that Clark's domination is an indication of the shifting guard rather than a coincidence. The truth is evident to those who are paying, even though others may still hold onto old allegiances or choose to minimize Clark's skills. Focus. Clark is respected for his skill, composure, and unwavering work ethic.
You don't mess with her. Other people. Yeah, you got to protect.
Bird's subdued nods are amplified by Hardaway's ferocious remarks, forming a chorus from the basketball greats that Clark isn't merely. She is superior on all fronts. This is more than just a challenge for Reese and her followers. Improving it is a sign that the focus is changing, and opposing it will only lead to increased scrutiny. It's difficult to accept, but you can tell the game has changed when the biggest voices in basketball begin to take sides. Will Clark's popularity continue to rise unchecked, or will Reese's camp withstand the pressure?
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girl.
Then there's Charles Barkley, who doesn't take long to emphasize Bird's point while criticizing all the trivial drama going on. Barkley's style is uncomplicated around Clark. He is impatient with the jealous noise that is attempting to drag Clark is down. He calls out the petty girls who are making fun of him, reminding out that Clark is the one who is delivering the money, visibility, and real development for women's basketball.
Listen, what she's accomplished, give her flowers. Stop being petty, all you women out.
Barkley makes a very simple case. Put an end to your complaints and begin to recognize Clark's contributions to the game. Informs everyone that Clark is worthy of her flowers. If you're unable to perceive that, perhaps you're too preoccupied with small matters to recognize the true significance of her creating.
All the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty.
The way Barkley disparages the critics helps fuels the flames, portraying Clark as more than just a gifted athlete, but as a game changer who's making even the skeptics take a back seat and give her credit. His lack of bullshit cuts through the noise and places Clark in her proper position, shining brightly in the center stage. Isn't it draining to try to? Do you despise someone who is succeeding in everything?
NBA fan, they cannot have this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse.
One of the most exaggerated media circus events in a long time was the Clark-Reese feud. and Charles Barkley and Bill Simmons won't put up with it. These two legends are perceptive. The commotion, exposing the drama for what it is, a perfect storm that only serves to increase Larry Bird's prominence. Remarks.
They tried. People believe what we say on television. Just because people don't like you or your personality, they can't get on TV as...
They contend that the media enjoys exaggerating events, transforming a straightforward analogy into a fully operational battlefield. Angel Reese's camp appears to be engrossed in trivial back and forth. Clark maintains her composure and let her game speak for itself.
Bullshit. This girl is incredible.
The stark contrast of such kind of quiet professionalism makes the entire feud appear much more absurd. Barkley and Simmons make fun of the haters not only out of jealousy but also because of their actions only accentuate Clark's refinement and maturity. Isn't it amusing that the strongest voices typically originate from the weakest areas?
I've never seen that before. Well, she's doing stuff we've never seen before. I've never seen anybody do that on a consistent basis.
The last word in this tale, Shaquille O'Neal, closes the deal with his signature blend of admiration and direct candor. Shaq acknowledges that he was first dubious, but after seeing Clark make threes from spots where even Steph Curry could, become a believer because he wouldn't dare to attempt. He describes her firing range as if she were a shooting god, making Curry appear like a child still learning the ropes.
Like, damn, like, and I was a hater because, you know, I'm down. She was like, she's not going to hit that shot, and bam. Like, damn, she's not going to hit that shot, man. Like, if I say 10 times you're not going to hit the shot.
But distance isn't the only factor. Clutch shots, a bold demeanor, and unwavering confidence are what make Clark indisputable. That Shaq's compliments seem like the final component, completing this story with a mocking tribute to Larry Bird's insight for putting everything in perspective. Even if Shaq is sold, you are aware that this is the real deal and not simply hype. The basketball community is in a frenzy, and Larry Bird's remark is the spark that started the fire. Is it really worth disputing when Shaq is persuaded?
If your only argument for Caitlyn is that it would have been a great marketing opportunity and you don't have basketball experience or chemistry with the group listed in your reasoning, I don't want to hear.
This is where things start to become pretty interesting. Some people attempted to claim that Caitlin Clark's ascent was all concerning marketing. Yes, she's not really a basketball player. She's just this attractive face attracting attention and creating talk on social media. Stephen A. Smith strongly criticized that if all you have to say about Clark is that she's a good marketer, then so please don't bother us with the crap.
Deserving. I think it makes a mockery of the women's game. If the focus on, now we just have to have people because of marketing and their attention, and they're not as talented, and we're not putting the best team.
Because increasing Instagram followers and ticket sales aren't the WNBA's primary objectives. It's about using the greatest talent on the court. And you know what? Saying that Clark lacks the ability is like shooting yourself in the foot. Stephen A. even said that choosing someone just based on their marketability would be more detrimental to the league. Rather than real talent, you wish to expand the game. You include the best players, regardless of their level of popularity or novelty. They are why, when the scoreboard screams talent, are some individuals still fixated on marketing?
Well, since then, Caitlin Clark won the Rookie of the Year award unanimously and finished 4th in MVP voting. She also led the entire league in assists.
If you believed that Clark's simply hype argument was convincing, she has been hard at work disproving it. Clark won Rookie of the Year unanimously, finished 4th in the MVP voting, and dominated the league in assists. Those aren't rewards for participation. They are unmistakable evidence that she is more than a passing fad. Many once claimed that she had not yet established herself in the WNBA, but right now...
To the Olympics. She was outplaying Diana Taurasi. Was she outplaying Diana Taurasi at that point in time that she was on the team? It's a simple yes or...
Even her toughest detractors were made to regret their remarks by Clark's. And let's not even talk about the drama surrounding the Olympic team. Clark's stats were better than those of a few other guards that were selected. The legendary Diana Taurasi was surpassed by Clark prior to. Chelsea Gray hardly participated in the Olympics because of an injury. Clark, however, was left off the roster. Get ready to roll your eyes. It seems as though old-fashioned prejudices and politics determined who was admitted rather than who was performing exceptionally well on the court. How do you defend benching the top players simply because she's new and well-liked.
Even though Caitlin Clark is one of the most talented basketball players of all time, basketball was never the reason for Clark being left off the team. To Stephen A. and Shannon's point, if Clark was already good enough to make the team,
the justifications continued to surface. Some claimed that Clark lacked team cohesion and experience. Yes, that seems like a valid explanation, if you disregard the fact that she was outperforming several of the team's veterans statistically. It was made evident by Stephen A. and others. The chemistry argument was more smoke than fire, and Clark was outperforming many of the players who were given the nod.
I'm not going to let you make it seem like Caitlin Clark was averaging 5 points a game. At the time, she was still averaging 16 points a game, which was more than a lot of other guards.
In actuality, many are afraid of Clark because of his electrifying manner, which appends the existing quo. However, rather than recognizing some people dismissed her talent since she was a new superstar while others adhered to their old favorites. Even assertions that Clark was averaging, at the time, just 5 points each game. Total bullshit. She was scoring 16 points every game, which was higher than many guards who formed the Olympic squad. Why do people despise the newbie who is already disproving them all? So, guys, when titans like Tim Hardaway, Steph Curry, Charles Barkley, and Larry Bird are complimenting Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese really ought to quit thinking of herself as Clark. Are you in agreement? Share your opinions with us in the. Please subscribe to this channel and leave comments below.